Hello. I'm so sorry. This is my first video by myself and I don't know what I'm doing. So anyways. My name is Juliana from Baguette Bound. Moved to France about a year ago. And I completed my first year of French school in 6th grade. And now on Tuesday, which is 2 days away, I don't know. Yes, I'm going into French school soon for 7th grade. So I went school supply shopping. But school supply shopping is a bit confusing in a different language. So I thought that I'd make a video about random school supply shopping stuff that's difficult. I just realized that I'm holding this bag up, but it's filled with supplies. First up, so this is really just important if you're going in at the end of the school year. So this is on the une trousse, so a pencil case. It's on the list in 6e, but not in, so 6e is, if I say 6e, that's for 6th grade, and if I say 5e, that's for 7th grade, because they count backwards in France. Don't know why. But anyways, so a lot of times on the 6th grade shopping list, there will be une trousse, but then on the 7th grade shopping list, there won't be. So if you're coming, it's your first year here, and you're coming, you should, I don't know, you should get a trousse en trousse parce que it's just, you kind of need one, and yeah. So mine's just a basic trousse that we found randomly, like our first day here. So anyways, there's nothing interesting in there. I don't think I have like one pen. Next up, we have these pens. These pens, they're these special pens. They're called Magic Pluses. I don't know why it's called that, but anyways, they're really cool. My friend had them. They're just pretty basic. But anyways, so they're really cool because the blue end you can write with and the white end you can erase with. Until you use up all the white end and it doesn't work anymore and you're just like spreading around the blue. But anyways, they're really cool and I really liked using them for tests to make revisions. There we go, done with that. Open it later. Next up is highlighters. So for highlighters, they're called surligneurs, which might translate sometimes. Sometimes it translates to highlighter and sometimes it translates to underline. Because surligne and surligneur, they're very similar words, but one of them means highlighter, surligneur, and one of them means underline, surligne. But anyways, so I have some more highlighters in my pencil case, I think, but they're just like the basic ones. And I also so I bought these at one of my favorite stores in Bordeaux, which is the big city about an hour away from us, because we live in the countryside. But anyways, I like to get some pretty ones that are just like pretty colors or like pretty designs and stuff. So I just have a really nice couple highlighters because I felt like it. Yeah. Pens. Stylo. So it asks you for 4 pens. You don't actually need 4 of these pens, but it asks for 4 pens and it means 1 green pen, 1 red pen, 1 black pen, and 1 blue pen. And let me just, well, I guess I'll show you first. So I just got this 3-pack of these indestructible pen cases. That was such a good open. Sorry. Anyways, so I just got these three color pens that are just the ones, you know, that you can like push down and the different colors come out. Because these are really popular here, so then you don't have to carry around like 8 pens. And dig through them. You can just grab one. Another pen thing, I like to have some like weird random pens. I'm a 12-year-old girl. Yeah, but I got these for my birthday. One of my friends bought me a bunch of pens for my birthday, so I got these weird couple pens that I like to bring along. Next up, we have Blanco, so whiteout. But the thing is, they don't have a brand like whiteout. They don't have whiteout here. I mean, they do, but they don't call it whiteout. So they call these Blanco, and they're just really important, but a lot of the times you won't find them on the school supply shopping lists. So I just got, there's really one brand that people use most of the time. It's like, it's just a generic brand. But I got this one. They're my favorite because they're just the best. They're like $1. It's like $1.60 for 6 of them. They're not the prettiest ones, but at least it's just, I get a bunch of them because I use a lot of Blanco. They're just these things. And a lot of times if you're in 6e, we learned about in English class, and this is like French English class for French people. We learned school supplies, and we learned that that thing is called a white mouse. So if you ever see it translated as white mouse, it's blanco and it's just white out. That's all it is. The next thing, which I still don't know what it does, but I thought I'd show you what it is. C'est un couvre-livre. It's a thingy. It's just this piece of plastic, and it like peels off. I think it's like supposed to cover your books for the year. That's why it's called a couvre-livre, which is a book cover. This book cover thingy is just, it looks like this, but we couldn't figure out what it does because, so a lot of times if you can't figure out what something is, you can just put it into Amazon in France, like go to Amazon France and put in the name and see what comes up, but we couldn't, nothing came up for this thing, so we had to ask somebody at the store right now. So first up we have these pieces of paper, and they're called copie double. And so you have normal sheets of paper. So for classes in France, you need normal sheets of paper and copie double for class. And I don't know if I can get this thing open. Okay, that kind of works. Okay, 30 minutes later. So it's just this paper, but the thing is, it, instead of just being like single sheet, it has two sides, so it's like this, and it folds. And you use these for tests a lot, so like you don't have to, so you have more space, or you can glue things inside and stuff, and you're not using up space to write. So that's very popular for teachers to ask you to have that. Next thing is for, this is just important for both this thing and for art paper, because if you have art classes in your school, you'll probably need some art paper. But anyways, making sure that the paper and the folder for it are both the same size, or the folder's a bit bigger, so that they actually fit inside each other, because you have to read, there's like a little teeny tiny thingy on each of these, and I can't seem to find it on here, but I just had to try it with a bunch of different sized art paper until I found something that fits. But this is a 21 times 29.7 centimeters, which is a pretty common size for most things, for just some art paper. So it fits in here. Because last year I got some art paper, but it was the bigger size. It was like 24 times 29. And so it was like jutting out of the thingy-majiggy, out of the folder. So I just had to like get it in. It felt very silly. These, same size as the folder, just like, yet again, you gotta pay attention to the sizing. On them, you gotta pay attention to the sizing. I'm not sure if you can read that, but it's like 20, it says the size on there, just right there. But it also says carré grand carreau, or petit carreau, which it didn't say on here, but you can see the size difference. Sometimes for like physique chimie, so there's like these really big squares, and there are these really tiny squares. And you can really see the difference when they're next to each other, but you have to, make sure that you get it, because a lot of times, like, yeah, for my physique chimie class, it asks for very specific colors in notebooks and very specific size squares, which doesn't make much sense, but who cares? Oh, and in France, all the notebook paper, it always has squares. There's none of that lined paper. It's always squared, no matter what. Some people get small ones, some people get big ones. I prefer small ones because they're easier to fit in my backpack with all my other stuff. So this is just like a mini notebook with little tiny squares, but you can use it for all your classes. Like if I forgot my physics notebook, then I can just use this to fill in, and then when I get home, copy down my notes for here. So it's just the same style notebook, and I just got a color that I didn't have any other notebooks in, so I just got gray. You can get gray or white. I find that's the best colors to get these in, because then you don't mix it up. I really don't like these things. They're very annoying. But a lot of time for music, since you're just like getting sheet music and stuff and like pieces of paper, so they'll ask for these things. You don't want a notebook, you want, they want these things, and they're like these books, but they have little pockets in them. So like, see, you just do that, you can fit a piece of paper in there. but it's just a book of those, and I forgot what these are called. But they're pretty easy to find because they're all over the place. And yeah, I'm not even gonna show you up close because I don't care now. A lot of times also they'll ask you for free ring binders, which I have one of somewhere in that closet. And then they'll also ask you for these pochettes. These pockets, little pochettes. And then the pochettes, they just, they're little pockets. And you just stick them on the 3-ring binder with like pieces of paper that your teacher gives you. The next one that we had some trouble finding was this, une ardoise, which is just a whiteboard. Mine's double-sided. But it technically means a slate. But you don't want a slate because I don't even know how you bring that to school. But anyways, this one just comes with like a eraser and a marker. And there's just they're whiteboard markers, style, and they say like style Velka or whatever, something like that. So it's the V. Can't actually say it. But yeah, so there's just one of these, and we couldn't figure out what a stilo Velka, vodka, I don't know, I can't say that word, is. But eventually we figured out, oh, it's whiteboard markers. Paint tubes. The paint tubes, they are called tubes de gauche. And gauche technically translates to left. So tubes of left, what is that? No, they're just paint. And sometimes it'll ask for very specific colors, like cyan blue and magenta red and weird colors, but it's like, and then jaune première. But yeah, but it's fine, really. The teacher doesn't actually care, it just says that on the list. I like having a watch just for school. This is a watch that I've had for a while. I don't love this watch, it doesn't work great, but it's fine. And it's upside down. But this watch, it's just, I like to have one just with me during the day at school so that I like to have one during the day at school so that I can say like, I know when a class is ending, or like I know how much time I have left in a class, how much time I have left on a test, how much time you have left for lunch, like, so you don't have the bell ringing while you're like putting away your tray for lunch. Anyways, these next 3, they're on every single school supply shopping list. Une règle, what the heck is this thing called? I don't even know anymore. Une équerre, so a ruler is une règle, which technically translates to, une règle translates to a rule. And there's like 4 other translations that I'm forgetting at this moment, including ruler. And yeah, they're just, we couldn't figure out why it wants rules. Like we're thinking, is there a rule book we need or something? Une équerre, this one's just this, it's whatever this thing is. I don't even know the name for this in English, but it's a thingy. Same for this one, I don't know the name in English. But sometimes they'll ask you for non-métallique, so no metals, for rapporteurs, and I don't know why, but they do that. For whenever you need, so sometimes it'll ask you for a lock and sometimes it doesn't. So whenever you have a lock, as you can see, there's some very faint lettering on there, but I like to write on the locks or put something because there's like 3 generic locks here that we can find that everybody has. So if you can't remember your locker number, you want to personalize your locks and it like tells you which one you are. So yeah, those are helpful. The next one confused us a lot. We had to call one of my French friends and be like, hey, so what is this? So these are headphones, as you know, and they're just headphones with the big ears, these big ears. And then these are also headphones, but they're the little headphones that just are little, that stick in your ear like that are falling out of my ears. So they will say, they're called écouteurs in French, and they're called listeners, which honestly makes sense. But these are called écouteurs avec casque, which means listeners with helmet. And then my favorite thing, this isn't called for on the list, but I like having them just because then I can pretend I have something to do whenever I just have like study hall. Have stickers, this is one of my favorites. Little tiny stickers. And yeah, I just have a little bag of stickers yet again from my birthday. And you can't see really any of them, but there's a lot of stickers. And I just like kind of putting them on there because I feel like it. So yeah, there we go. I think that's everything. Well, obviously not everything. I have a lot more school supplies shoved in corners around my room which I've had to pack, but thanks for watching me tell you about school supplies.